Have you ever bought something and immediately felt regret? Maybe it was a big purchase you didn't need, or something small that added up over time. Maybe it gave you a high for 5 minutes, then left you feeling empty. You're not alone. Regretful spending is a global epidemic. And in a world where we're constantly bombarded with ads, influencer lifestyles, and the pressure to treat yourself, it's harder than ever to pause before we pay. But what if we told you that a 2,600-year-old Buddhist practice could stop all that? What if there was something simple, something deeply mindful, that you could do before every single purchase that would help you avoid regret, align with your values, and bring you real peace? Today, we'll explore the Buddhist approach to spending money, a spiritual pause before the swipe, the scan, or the click. Before we begin, I want to ask you something. Do you usually spend from impulse or intention? Drop your answer in the comments. Let's open this discussion. And if you're new to Buddhist Banknotes, this channel explores ancient wisdom for modern money problems. If you're looking for peace in both your wallet and your mind, be sure to subscribe. Now let's begin. In Buddhism, one of the foundational practices is mindfulness, known in Pali as sati. While many people associate mindfulness with meditation, it's actually a way of living. It means being fully present in whatever you do, walking, eating, talking, and yes, even spending money. Buddhist mindfulness teaches us that our thoughts, intentions, and actions all leave a residue. They don't disappear. Every financial decision plants a seed, and over time, those seeds grow into our habits, our lifestyle, and even our suffering, or our peace. One of the most powerful ways to avoid regret is to practice what we might call spending mindfulness. It means not just looking at the price, but also at the karma of the purchase. What's the source of this desire? Is this coming from craving, fear, comparison, or love? Is this something that supports my well-being, or something that numbs my emptiness? These aren't just moral questions. They're practical. Every unconscious purchase creates stress. Every intentional purchase brings peace. Let's get more specific. In Buddhist practice, especially among lay followers, there's a principle called yoniso manasikara, wise attention. It means looking deeply before acting. When applied to money, wise attention means pausing before you spend and asking 3 key questions. First, what is the feeling behind this purchase? Are you bored? Are you trying to impress someone? Are you feeling low and hoping this will give you a quick emotional boost? Spending out of emotional impulse is often a cry for something deeper: comfort, recognition, connection. But material things can't fill those needs for long. Second, what is the consequence of this purchase? This isn't just about your bank balance. Ask, will I feel lighter after this? Or heavier? Will this bring peace or anxiety tomorrow? If you feel a pit in your stomach or a sense of secrecy about the item, that's a signal to wait. Third, is this aligned with my values? You may want something, but does it align with the kind of life you want to live? If you're committed to a life of simplicity, generosity, or ethical impact, does this purchase support or sabotage that? These 3 questions form the Buddhist decision space. It's not about saying no to everything. It's about saying yes to what matters. The Buddha taught that all suffering arises from tanha, craving. Craving is not just wanting. It's wanting with attachment. It's grasping with the belief that something outside of us will complete us. Advertisers know this well. They don't sell products. They sell identity, status, belonging, and escape. Buddhism helps us see through that illusion. It invites us to pause before spending and examine the craving itself. What are you really buying? A new phone? Or the feeling of being updated and valued? A designer bag? Or the illusion of self-worth? When you ask those deeper questions, you free yourself from emotional manipulation. You stop buying identities and start investing in experiences, values, and peace. One Buddhist teacher said, before you spend money, ask, am I feeding my ego or my freedom? That question alone can save you thousands, and not just in cash. Now let's talk about a very specific Buddhist practice that you can apply immediately. It's called sampajana, or clear comprehension. In ancient texts, this is the practice of being aware of your body, your purpose, your context, and the dharma behind your actions. Applied to spending, this means doing a 10-second check-in. When you're about to buy something, pause and notice your breath. Feel your body. Ask, what am I doing and why? This short practice interrupts impulsive behavior. It puts your conscious mind back in control. In today's world, this is revolutionary. We're trained to spend fast. One-click checkout, auto-renewal, flash sales. The modern system profits from your unconsciousness. But Buddhism teaches that freedom comes from awareness. So even if it feels awkward at first, that little pause is actually a powerful act of liberation. Try this next time you're about to buy something online. Put the item in your cart, but don't check out. Close your eyes. Breathe. Then ask, what is the feeling in my chest right now? Most of the time, you'll notice restlessness or emptiness. If that's the case, wait. Sit with it. If the item still feels meaningful in 24 hours, you can buy it mindfully. Buddhism also emphasizes intention as a force. The Buddha said, "It is volition, monks, that I call karma." This means that the motivation behind your action matters more than the action itself. Spending money with a generous, clear, or peaceful intention creates different karma than spending from greed or fear. For example, buying a meal to share with your family generates joy and connection. Buying an expensive meal just to post online may create restlessness or regret. Two people can make the same purchase, but only one feels whole afterward. That's the power of intention. So before you spend, ask yourself, what's my deeper intention here? Let's now look at a few practical ways to integrate this into daily life. One method is the mindful wallet ritual. Every morning, before you leave the house or open your banking app, hold your wallet or phone for about 30 seconds. Close your eyes. Silently repeat a simple intention. May the money I spend today bring peace, not pain. May it serve compassion, not ego. Another method is the 3 breaths before spending rule. Before buying anything, especially something over a certain amount, take 3 conscious breaths. Feel the inhale and exhale. It may sound too simple, but that small delay activates the part of your brain responsible for reasoning and quiets the part that chases dopamine. You'll be shocked how often this alone stops you from buying something you didn't really need. Now let's explore another Buddhist virtue that can transform how you spend: santuti, or contentment. In Western culture, contentment is often mistaken for complacency. But in Buddhism, contentment is spiritual power. It means being deeply okay with what is. It doesn't mean you can't have goals or earn more. It means that your peace is not delayed until you get more. When you feel content, you spend less, not from force or guilt, but because you simply don't need more. You're not trying to fill a hole. So ask yourself, what is enough for me? You don't have to write down a number, but get clear on the feeling. When you know you're enough, you stop chasing other people's version of success. You buy less, you regret less, you rest more. Now let's briefly talk about generosity. Buddhism holds generosity, dana, as the first perfection. Why? Because it frees you from the illusion of lack. When you give, you affirm abundance. It teaches you that you already have enough to share. Before making a purchase for yourself, ask, is there someone I can help instead? This doesn't mean you never buy for yourself, but it balances the energy. Sometimes, giving is the real medicine your soul is craving, not another object. Giving is also one of the most powerful ways to shift financial karma. When you give without expectation, you align with the flow of generosity in the universe. So when in doubt, spend a little less on yourself and a little more on someone who needs it. Not out of guilt, but out of joy. Finally, let's talk about regret itself. Regret is a teacher, not a punishment. When you buy something you regret, don't just shame yourself. Reflect, ask, what led me here? And more importantly, what can I do differently next time? The Buddha said, better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. So speak kindly to yourself. Use each mistake as a lesson. That's the path of awakening. It's not about being perfect with money. It's about being present. Every regretful purchase can become a stepping stone toward mindfulness, intention, and peace. So what should you do before spending any money? You should pause, breathe, reflect, feel your body. Ask yourself why. Ask yourself if it aligns. Ask yourself if you'll feel proud tomorrow. That short pause contains your freedom. It turns spending from a reaction into a practice. And over time, your money will become less a source of stress and more a tool for compassion, purpose, and peace. Now here's your reflection challenge. For the next 7 days, practice one Buddhist pause before every purchase. Just one breath, one question, one intention. Track how you feel. Do you regret less? Do you spend less? Do you feel more peaceful? And then come back and share it in the comments. I'd love to hear what shifted for you. If this message helped you today, consider subscribing to Buddhist Banknotes for more financial wisdom rooted in timeless teachings. You deserve a life where your money choices bring joy, not regret. Thank you for walking this mindful path with me.